All right, about time here. Let's get replay. Let's get talking.
Morning.
Morning, morning. How's everybody today? We had some time off. Everybody's happy. Everybody's re-energized, ready to go, go, go.
Everybody stale? Yeah.
Right, right. Here, I got to grab a panel for this. I'll slid back. Here you go.
Hi ho. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh. Tilt this back. There's the hair. It's falling forward. 1 second. Just enough to keep falling forward. Yeah. That's about it. Okay. There we go. Let's see.
Hey,
We're gonna. Hi.
I have a question.
Not already.
Yes. So this image clearly is France, right? But where was
Yes.
this taken?
This is taken by Jill. I know. Where the heck did we see that? Yes, I want to know too. No,
Because it's just wonderful.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, Jill takes a lot of great shots, and whenever I see one, I think that could, be fun to paint and interesting to paint, I'll grab it and stuff. I have, she told me I could use whatever I wanted of hers, so I'm gonna use this one, and say, let's go. We're going back to what in end of July.
End of July, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you were still on the fence, but everybody else, we got a few people. So, got a bunch of watercolor people want to go. So I'm going, I don't know. I'm not sure yet with those guys if I'm gonna, they're friends of Lisa, so we'll see. We'll see if they really do come aboard. But it'll be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun again. Let's see who we got here. We got any other questions there, Ann?
No, that's it.
Okay, just checking. Cindy's here, and we have Sarah. Hi, Sarah. We also have Mindy is supposed to be in here, and Allison's supposed to be here yet too. But Alice, you never know with Allison, time-wise, time change and stuff over there. It's pretty huge. So she usually shows up halfway through. Anyway, but yeah, today you guys know who I am and everything else, so I'm not gonna have to go into that. Okay. Yeah. Painting class today. We're just gonna run through how we paint, how I go about painting, and how I like, you guys don't have to paint the way I paint. I just recommend it. I think it's really a simplest way to do an oil painting and work it that way. The process is consistent. I try to paint whatever I paint the same way. I mean, the same setup, everything till we get to the image. The image, of course, is always going to be changing, but the process shouldn't change, because that way we can really look at how good you're getting and how things work out. Workout's not a great word, but hey, I'm not a wordsmith. Definitely, you guys all know that. I got bare bones language skills here. But to having that a process in place you use all the time, instead of just going at a painting. Oh, I'm all excited to go after a painting, and you do it and you get a good one. Next one, next three look don't work out. Maybe you get a halfway decent one, and then another one's done. See, that up and down kills you. It kills your momentum. It just makes you not want to paint as much. If you can see a steady progress, maybe it doesn't go very quick. Maybe it's just a slight slant, but you're making progress, and that'll always bring you back to painting and stuff. And having that a little good process of how you attack a painting repeatedly the same way really makes the difference. And that's what I kind of teach. All right, so this first one, yeah, this is France. This is definitely France. This is from our post there in France, near Toulouse. Jill Watley. This is really a great shot. I just loved it. I love these I'm not sure what that vine is called, with the red flowers on it. I am not. Are they just roses? No,
Yeah.
wait, that's not just roses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
roses.
roses.
White and
Oh,
red.
okay. I knew roses. I'm sorry. I thought they were that other one, that other climbing vine. That
Oh, you were thinking bougainvillea.
There it is. That's the word. See, I told you I wasn't very good at that. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't know. They're really kind of close, and over there, when you see it, I see it in like, we painted one in from Tuscany like that, and it was just gorgeous. It just grew all over the building and flowered up like that. So that's sort of what I was thinking it was, without looking too close. I don't look too close at my reference. I look for the big stuff and the little stuff at the end. The little stuff's at the end. Basically, I want to do the big designy stuff, get that in, because that's the guts of the painting. That's the rich area, the close up, getting close up and detailed. That's at the end, and that's only at the high. That's only right around where it needs to be. It's not everywhere, because you do everywhere, you flat painting out really quick. Let me see if I pulled this up. Let me see if I have this up yet. If it came in here. Let me pull it up and we'll talk about it. Did I do it right? Did Jim Swanson put the painting in here? Did I not do it? No. There's always one thing I don't do in every class. It's always one little thing that is always the hiccup. So it's not like a perfect class. I'm always trying for a perfect class. Never happens. So 1 second here while I go back in here and grab our emails and grab the email from you guys. I sent to you guys, and I can pull that from it. No, way too far. Way too far. Where is it? Where did I send you guys? I don't even see it on here. Oh, there it is. Saturday morning class. There he goes. Okay, he'll be in there a second here. Okay. Boy, everything's just okay. All right, here we come back. Sorry about that. I printed that out, but I didn't put it into my on the thing. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Shut up. I talk to myself all the time, so that's why I can do this. I can paint and talk to myself at the same time. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Look at this shot down in that nice little alleyway. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember seeing this wall there.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. So I'm sure this is one of the villages we didn't get to go to, but she has a plan to take us to a bunch of new villages. So that's the cool thing about where she is. There's a bunch of villages around her. And always a different look. Okay. Okay, so these roses growing on this beautiful, old wall. I'm pretty sure it's a wall. Yeah, it's a wall. You never know. That's a huge wall. But that's really cool. I thought the plate, this I thought this was really interesting. A chair in the middle of it.
Yeah.
A chair just sitting there, just waiting for somebody to sit in, right? Or somebody just got up and out of it. Those kind of those little things in a painting stuff can really just, draw a person in. It draws the viewer in and they kind of go, well, maybe it's this guy just got up and walked off and he's going back there. You could see the people back there going around. So there's more stuff back there. I did not do anything with it back there. The painting, the thing, I left it go. I did do a few little things here, design wise. This lantern over here was way up higher. And, so I brought it back down. I brought it down because I wanted it in the painting. The chair I did move out. I mean, it was a lot closer to the edge. So I moved it. I added a couple flowers here too, but I'm not telling you which ones I added. You're going to have to guess. Okay. Okay. So that's, pretty nice design. I really like, this section here going into the painting based with that really nice wall. Then you got this side here of the building filling in that whole area, all making this little corridor of light here to see this for us to look back into. Almost like a secret garden back there, which will always plays well, always works well. So that should be really cool to do. Let me get this back to size. Okay. Yeah, the design works really well. It's really one perspective. Everything kind of goes back to this one, spot right about in here. So if you have, when you're drawing it out and stuff, you figure out where that spot is. And usually I put that spot, pretty much at this 1/3 this way, 1/3 that way spot. That's like, well, these are your sweet spots in a painting, right in here. The thirds, the 1/3 up, 2/3 down, either on going vertical and horizontal. Those are your little sweet spots to hit. You just don't want to put anything, the focus directly in the middle. It's okay if it's over here or it's slightly off center. Just, try to keep it out of the middle. Sometimes you can't do anything about that. That's just the way it is. That's the way a portrait goes. Sometimes we'll be doing probably a portrait or something in this class, but we're doing landscapes and we're doing a few other things too. But just to know that. Okay, look at this. You get this. This is the way we want it to go. It feeds in there, wraps around here, goes around here, and comes out there, right? That's what we were looking for this painting to do. All right, so that's what we got to concentrate on. And I'll be showing you all the little tricks and some little nuances to get it there. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get it totally there just in one couple hours that we will be painting if I shut up. But heck, that's it. Color-wise, man, it's beautiful. You just got reds and greens. Somebody, a photographer, told me this just the other day about reds. He says, reds and greens, shoot, just shoot. You see red and green, shoot, shoot, shoot. Because I guess it's one of the, being complementary colors and stuff. Just one of those things that you look for. I always like complementary too. But I usually like more blue and yellow orange together. But and we have that too. And we got red and green, and you got purples and greens. We got purples are good too, even though it's not real purple, but it could be. Okay, shut up. Painting. Okay, anything else here? Color-wise, boy, we're gonna have fun mixing these colors. We're gonna try and keep it simple. Simple is always usually best. So color-wise, we're gonna be looking in here for pretty much the shadows. We'll look for a big spot there. That spot there can probably be fixed to be a lot of these other buildings there, and might even just a little toning of that color. We might be able to get the chair out of it. This is kind of a grayish color. So that color can go into a lot of this stuff. We got blue, and blue just takes over after a while. You're going to find that in pieces of the leaves and mixes of the leaves and things like that. The darks, as long as we keep these darks interesting, we don't go with black. We use some nice colors in here. This guy could be definitely, looking at him right now, I would say he's probably, he's kind of a cool dark because he's kind of surrounded by a little bit warmer areas here. So being a cool dark, he'd be on the alizarin side and blue side. He might go green and alizarin too. That's cool too. So we'll be mixing all these colors up, and we'll be coming over there. Any questions? Okay. The least of my worries on this painting is going to be this. That I like that. That's a nice little added thing. But it, and it just stopped. I put it there because I wanted to stop that line. And that's what I'm always thinking about, is stops, trying to make sure I don't let the viewer escape. Okay, questions?
A question about cobalt blue. I meant to ask you this before. So cobalt blue, would you say it's sort of a neutral blue? That is, it doesn't skew too much green, it doesn't skew too much anything else. It's just sort of a basic blue.
I like it. Yeah. It's not too cool. Like ultramarine, I find very cool. I mean, you mix that with white, and you get a kind of a purple, right? And a lot of people love that. They like that. When you mix this cobalt with blue, with white, you're going to get a blue. You're going to get a blue. It's always going to be on the cool side too, but it's warmer, a lot warmer feeling than a ultramarine or a French ultramarine.
It
not
just
by
seems
much.
to be, it seems that cobalt just seems to be a real workhorse, like it can just do so many things. That's what I was wondering.
Yes. And now when I figured that out, I just, my game changed a lot. So I'm really think it's great. Yeah, that's okay. Here we go over there. I can show you what we just Anne-Marie was just mentioning too a little bit when we get going. My colors out today are pretty much the colors I always have out. I always have at least a white, which is today's always titanium, not always titanium. Sometimes I have a Pomelba white out. Pomelba white is a cool white. Sometimes I have two whites out. If I'm painting like a snow scene, something really a high key, that a cool color against a warm color is really all the contrast you get in sometimes. So it's really, sometimes it makes a difference, but right now it doesn't make that much difference. I got CAD yellow light out. I got CAD red light out. CAD orange. This is what they call gold ochre. It's not regular ochre. It has a little gold in. It has real gold in it. It's rich. No, it has a little more red into it. Which ochre? I hardly ever use it, so I just don't know why I mentioned it. I don't even need ochre out in my palette, but it's out. I have this is oxide, red oxide light. Here we could have a couple different colors because I ran out of this and we've used a few other colors too. This could be Terra Rosa. If you have Terra Rosa, if you don't have that color. This could be Venetian. It's a little, Venetian's a little bit darker, but not by much. They kind of end up, they all, you know, Terra Rosa is just a touch warmer than these guys, but not by much. It plays well with the other colors too.
Can it be transparent oxide red? Yeah.
Transparent is a real, it's more like, it ends up being more like this over here, burnt sienna. It's really
Okay.
just a burnt sienna with just a touch of red, which is okay. It's really great. And it's, you know, it's a great color. I just,
I think I
You
have
know.
both.
yeah, if you have both, you're good. This is a alizarin crimson for most people. But for people who paint with Rembrandt, they don't have alizarin crimson. Alizarin crimson had problems way back with being super light fast. It kind of fades if it's left in the sun for 3 or 4 years. But who's going to leave a painting in the sun for 3 or 4 years? Now they have permanent alizarin crimson, which takes care of that problem. But Rembrandt still doesn't make it. So this is Rose Madder Deep if you're painting with Rembrandts. And that does really about the same job. Over here, this is my blue we were talking about. This is cobalt blue. This is a cobalt blue hue though. Okay, cobalt blue hue does something different than cobalt. Cobalt's a lot lighter than this color. This is a cobalt blue hue. It's a mix of, get this, it's a mix of ultramarine and phthalo blue. And so that's why it's so dark. It's so dark. And I use that basically as my structure for my darks. This is phthalo green. I think they call it green blue. I think it's called green blue. It has a little bit of blue in it. But it's beautiful. It's a great color. Over here, this is just burnt sienna. I just left out some burnt sienna from an old painting. I'll be toning my canvas with that probably, if you have it. So those are my colors. I'm taking my time. Let you guys put them out. Relax. But this is how I set up my palette, and it's set up like this all the time. If you don't, you set it up the way you can find your colors. Big knife, big brush. I have some bristle brushes. This is a synthetic, a big old brush, synthetic. Then I have some smaller ones, and then I have some bristle brushes. Bristle brushes are great for adding age to things, and soft edges and bushes and stuff like that. So that's what they work great for that. Synthetics are like chisels. They will chisel out something. They will do a great number of getting the edges of any of these guys, any of the roses. They can get clean edges again in your shadows. It can make pretty much everything on this chair pretty easily. It helps edges on buildings, really anything clean. Synthetic will work really well. You need a clean line. Everything else, a bristle, it's never going to give you a clean line, but you need to know the difference and be able to work with it. Switch off, know what brush you need when. I have a couple bigger synthetics too. I'll be using. These are my Rosemary's. I will be using those in this painting. This is a handy little tool. Oops, handy little tool. And it comes handy when you have overpainted something, which never happens with me. Yeah, never ever happens. But this little tool is a great lifesaver not lifesaver, but painting saver, for cleaning out areas, especially when you're working like we do and wet into wet, getting things properly done, clean, and knowing that this tool exists, you have more full reign to paint your heart out. So this is just a spatula. I get at the dollar store and I trim it up, trim the edges off with a scissor. You know, try to give myself a few edges to paint with, that one and then this one, you know. And you can paint with this thing. I just found, you know, if you, you know, you can dip your brush, you can create a line, and sometimes you can get something like this up here with it, you know, without, you know, by putting it in or something like that. It's pretty interesting instead of just using my knife. My knife is really thin, and it, you know, I use that for any like little details. I try to stay away from a little brush as much as possible because I just get too detailed. But all the little stuff in here, I'll probably be doing with my knife at the end, and that's at the end. When I'm pull this thing out, it's usually at near the end, or it's for a big area. Okay, here we go. Color-wise, fabulous colors in this thing. All right, I work dark to light, so we're gonna mix all of our darks first. I mix pretty much 3/4 of the colors of this painting. The 3/4, basically, this painting comes from itself. I mean, I do the darks, I bring them down to right value of the painting, and I look at it and stuff like the main value of the painting. You know, really, that wall just takes over. That wall, that red in that wall, but that's really dark. That's like an 8. And so a lot of these shadows and everything will be done at 8. Yeah. Just to know that. And heads up coming up. All right, these reds here, these green reds in here, they're green reds because I can see red in those greens. That's always going to come forward. Those reds are going to come forward. Back in here, you see coolness in the greens. That's a blue green. So that's going to take me back into space. So if I lay green, warm greens in front, cool greens in the back, I'm going to have that. It's going to come up like that. And the painting, this depth is going to be there. That's the only thing you need to know. Red comes forward, blue recedes. Sometimes I put reds back there because, but they have to be in the cooler room, which is the alizarin. Okay, enough talking. Let's get going. I make 2 piles when I make a pile. I work in piles. So I'm going to put out some phthalo, one a little bit bigger than the other, because, well, I want 2 different colors out of this. So I'm going to use phthalo green. I'm going to mix in oxide red light into it. I'm looking for a red green, a good red green, and I don't want it to be. I want one on the red side, like that, and then I want one on the green side. That's a little bit too much green. That's just a little bit more red. But what I want is bigger piles than that. I keep kind of thinking painting a small painting. If I was painting a 12 by 16, yeah, that'd be enough paint. Okay. Come on. All right. So I made 2 colors out of those 2 colors. One on the red side, one on the green side. This is always warmth. This is cooler. This is going to come forward. That's going to recede. Just remember that in this area, so you can put the warmth in the front, cool in the back, and you'll get this area here to pop up, and that area there to fall back. I'll be doing a couple more of this same thing. Again, phthalo green and alizarin. Putting in the red into that green. I should just have these mixed up. It seems like I use these colors. These are the only colors I use, you know, in paintings. But there's always like a recipe. You know, these are the basic recipes that call for in this painting that I know work well, and I can see in here. So these are going to be back in here. This is going to be the phthalo green side of the color. This will end up being the red side over here. You can barely tell. They both are kind of like most purples. You know, this is slightly red purple. This is slightly green purple. In the next stage, when we pull this down, you'll be able to see that really easy. Other colors in here. You got a wall here that's just screaming out at me. I am going to stay with phthalo greens for this painting, pretty much. I'm going to go with a different red. I'm going to go with a cad red and phthalo green. I'm going to look at that first. This is the thing about Rembrandt. They have a very strong light. Cad red light. And it's enough to it can take on a phthalo green without using the whole tube. There you go. That nailed it. Oh my God. Hey. Okay. But that's good. That's good. But we still need the green side. Why? Because the green side's going to take us back down the wall. You need the green side of this color too. And you might not need too much of it, but you know, hey, it's good to have. You know, it's just a dark tube, and that means in these two colors, that means I can put these two colors in the painting anywhere I want, and it should work. Okay, that's working really well. Okay, the last color. I got all that blue, and I'm not using any of it. The last colors. Cat orange and phthalo green. I'm going to need to really spike up a few areas, I'm thinking, in this building and in here a little bit. Cat orange does not do the same effect that Cad red did, but it's nice. It's a little makes basically my ochre. That's why I don't really need ochre on my palette, but I can make an ochre just as good, and it's going to be more powerful. But sometimes that ochre there mixed with white kind of can do something that this guy it's too powerful to do. So, hey, okay. So these are my colors I'm going to war with right now. I do need a lot of greens. I do have a lot. This is basically all could be in the realm of greens, except for a couple red ones and stuff, but they are green in each one of them. So I'm going to just go to the next part, and I'm going to split my piles, right? Take half up, half down. That's why I was mixing up a little bit more than I needed. These guys. And then I'll mix up the specialty colors in the painting. These are just the ones that are going to take care of the guts of the painting. The flowers are going to have to come from something else. The sky is going to be definitely has blue in it, and the road and the thing. So I can get the chair out of this, something like this brown or this brown, you know, and the little highlights from this and this, you know, and the walls definitely coming out of those guys. So, and some of this stuff shouldn't be hard. Value wise, like I said, I was thinking about the wall, you know, so, but I'm you know, that wall is pretty much that color. So I really don't need to make all these guys up that value. I think I'm going to go more towards value on this side, which would probably be more about 7. So it's just adding just a hair more white. So just a touch of white into these colors. These half piles are made. And what I want to do is just add enough white to these colors to see the color come through and get me to a right there, about a 7. And like this one, this is really good. This is like a mix of straight down the road color. This is like an equal mix of phthalo green and red, oxide red. You can see phthalo green come through on this side. You know, you'll find it in these, a lot of this stuff in here. So that's a good one to have right there. We're leaving that one alone. These next ones are cooler reds added to it. This is alizarin and green. You're gonna get a lot cooler greens, and you're gonna be able to find them in a lot of areas back in the farther back of the painting. This one should be alizarin. This is like, yeah, this is just like the other one, almost a perfect blend of amounts of phthalo and alizarin together, because it almost made a perfect gray. Made a perfect gray, right at 8. I'm gonna lighten that up a little bit more. Okay, being perfect does not really get me what I need. I want a red side. That's really down the middle. That shouldn't. I need it on the red side. So I'm just going to add just a touch of red to it. That one's pretty good. Those two, I like that. Let's see what happens here. Just a little bit of white. I don't need much on these guys, but this is interesting. Didn't do anything. Look at that. Did not add white. Didn't do anything. I have to add a lot of white to this one to get it to move. That shows you how strong that cad red they have is. You know, when you can't cut it with white, that tells you that that has some real power in that color. And that's really, you know, the things you want. That's the richness you can't get with like student grade paints. Even if you're using it pure out of the tube, you can't get that richness.
No.
So, yeah.
Get down.
No, you're not talking to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to Audrey the cat.
Of course. How's Audrey these days?
She's very interested in what we're doing here, and
Oh,
is,
sure she is. She wants to get her tail in your paints again.
she's hiding behind the easel, the tabletop easel, and pushing her paw through, you know, to grab at the knife.
Funny cat.
Very amusing.
Yeah. So, oh, this is coming out really well. Look at these colors. Beautiful so far. What happens? You get these colors going right. All right, these guys probably, I like where these things are going. They're going to probably come down one more step, probably around 4s in this painting at the end. But we're going to make up a couple other colors I'm going to need. I think some of these grays here, definitely. This one, wow. Definitely could get in the road. I was going to also go, and that's cad red and phthalo green. I was thinking what was going to end up being in this road. I'm going to mix up this color here. This is burnt sienna. Since I have burnt sienna out and blue, I have not used blue yet. So let's get these guys out. Burnt sienna and blue. Definitely one on the blue side. And then one on the brown side, burnt sienna side. So not so much blue in that one. There we go. Well, all right, it just took over. All right, definitely got to make it on the red side, burnt sienna side. So I'm going to bring some more burnt sienna in this. Did not have this. It does not want to change. That's a lot of cup. Pretty big pile for a little area, but okay, fine. That's the thing. Sometimes you get too much paint in here, and you can't change it with a. Some colors just aren't as strong as others. Instead of just keep adding into it, just take a piece of it and add your color over here to the side and get the right color. Make sure it reads pretty close to that anyway. Probably wasn't going to change. This color definitely you can find in here. But I'm going to, when this gets toned down, it's going to be the road. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So I think I have that taken care of. I'm not too worried about the buildings. I'm thinking now about the sky. Definitely don't have the sky. So just a little blue. You're going to need blue, mostly blue. Probably a touch of alizarin into it and a touch of phthalo green into it. Alizarin will cool it off, but that I might not need it too much right at this point. As you can see, that color doesn't do much too many places, but I do like it. So I'm going to leave a piece of that, just like I did up there, and mix the sky down in here. Just keep a really kind of a cool blue, because sometimes I just like to put in these warm areas a cool spot. Just add a couple of grips, coolness things to it, which will make this warmer, just because they have something to balance against. When they balance against something that's cool, when they're warm, it kind of makes them warmer. That's what the Impressionists worked on all the time. Okay, value-wise, I'm right pretty much there. It might be a little dark. Just a little dark. This is what the we were talking about cobalt blue here by itself. Here, let's just lighten that up. That's just cobalt. And then if you add just white, try and find a piece of white here without color. When you put color in this, this becomes just a beautiful little rich blue, right? And if I did, I did this with ultramarine, this blue would look more like this.
Huh.
Would be this color. Whoop, not quite that much red, but it would be a cooler red than that, or a cooler blue. So we got those. Not going to get rid of those. I'm just going to leave them on my palette. I'll find a place for them probably. But I'm thinking this for the sky. It looks a little dull. I might add just a little more blue to it. Just a touch more blue to get it ungrayed out. It's just a little graying out. Maybe it's phthalo. Let me add a piece of phthalo down here to it a little bit more.
Huh.
Yeah. Something like that might work. Always good to have a few things. That's just probably just a hair dark, a little more white to it. Maybe it'll work. Come out a little bit better. Not huge. So these two colors. So these two colors, just blue and phthalo. Just a touch of alizarin to it. This has a lot more alizarin to it. This has no alizarin to it. That's just straight blue and white. And then these guys here. Might end up using a lot of that in the top too, and then kind of bringing these guys down. This color here, if it comes down to the right spot, with a lot of white, I can get it down to there. If I do that, though, I'll use the whole file to do it right now. So I'm gonna steal from up there. Way too much white. Way too much. I get carried away. Again, just put it off to the side. Don't waste all your paint. So I'm making these guys. I'm going to take all these colors down really quickly too. So that's going to happen there. That will take care of that. These guys, I'm going to take these two colors down, value-wise, with some more white. Boy, grabbing a lot of white that I didn't need. All right, so this is going to be supposed to be on the blue side. And what I want to do is get it into the street here. That's just burnt sienna and blue, just white. It's just, I think when I get done, these two colors are going to be too similar. No, okay, they're not. They're not. This has a lot more burnt sienna in it. So that can go in here too. So these colors be great in there. I might just touch it. I'm thinking this, I just like a little bit more blue in this color. I think when these two mix together a little bit in the street, I could use just a little more coolness in there. Bringing back a little bit of blue. Okay, graying it out. That will also get up here and here. The last little thing, like I said, I was just going to take these colors down. I just don't need a littler piece because there's going to be a lot more white added to them. These colors, I'm just going to add a lot of white to, and I'm going to take them up to probably right here, probably a 3 on this side here. So when I put the knife to get against it, they should read it as a 3. So that's a lot of white. A little bit of color, a lot of white. There you go. 3s, 4s probably be fine. I don't want it so white that you can't see the color. You know, but sometimes I want it light enough to do things back in here that will work. This will definitely end up going in probably the side of the building a little bit. Up here, that's on the blue side. This red side probably will hit it pretty good. That should hit it pretty good. This one should hit it pretty good. And that'll be it. Lots of nice little colors. I'll go through the colors in 1 second here. What we need. But I do not have any real greens though. And that's the thing about my paintings. You know, I don't worry about the big things like that. I mean, that's in your face kind of thing. These greens, you're gonna get, you can't get around. But the subtleties are so important. The greens are just going to come from any of these colors up here. I'm just going to take a couple of these colors, bring them down here. These are the alizarin ones, just a scrape of these guys. I could use any of these guys up here, but I don't need too many. I need more rich greens. So these ones I'm going to add cad yellow to. When they're on the red side like this, you're going to get more of a grayed out yellow, green. Over here, when they're on the blue side, you should get a cooler, richer, kind of normal green, which didn't really show up. just has a little bit of red in it already that kills everything. There you go. Right? These ones usually are some really good ones right here. There you go. You get your mid-tone greens out of that. You don't need too many greens. And then you got a dead green. A lot of green in here, but a lot of it can be, that's the thing with green. It's like right in the middle of the color spectrum. And it is going to just it's really hard to get it to come forward and stay back. Because anything with yellow in it comes forward, and it has a lot of yellow in it. So we have to keep it back there. The only way to keep it back there is to add blue to it. So I'm going to add blue to it, blue white to it, and see if we can do that a little bit. Take a piece of these guys and add just a little blue white to them, and maybe not that much, maybe more blue to it, a little more blue to it. There we go. And that can also be in here, and you're going to find it being into things like reflections in the leaves of the sky. You're going to see the lights. So you're going to see a little bit more blue sometimes, right here, right here, right here. It really adds, and to have a cool section of cup greens and a really warm one, they'll make everything else you need. We got the dark ones up there. And everything kind of just came from itself, balancing out. So we should have no problems finish this thing off. Okay, colors again, I'll run through them real quick. Here we have phthalo green and oxide red, these two together, a warm red and a cool green. I make one on the red side, I mix, one on the green side. When I bring them down to 2 stages of 7, about 8, 7, or a 3-ish color version down here. That's what I want to do. Here we use green and alizarin and mix those two together. You can see the phthalo green just pops out. This one we had to add a little more alizarin to it, make sure it was purple. And then you come down here. That's a smoky purple. Okay, this is phthalo green and cad red. And you can see this is cad red, what cad red does to the color. This is over here is oxide red light going against it. And you can just see the difference. It's a warmer, richer color. This always kind of come forward. That receipt, these two combinations work really well together in creating depth. So this is on the green side, this is on the red side. Barely can tell. I probably need to mix up some more of that. Coming down, you can see how it grays out. Over here, this is just a little bit of phthalo green and cad orange. This is on the green side, this is on the orange side. So a lot of orange in here. Usually I'll make this one and then take a piece of it and add orange to it just to get it that value, because it just will eat up your whole tube, that phthalo green against it. Bring him down with white, and again more white, adding them to about 3s. Over here we have burnt sienna and blue. This is on the blue side, this is on the burnt sienna side. Coming down with white. That's about as far as I kind of felt like I needed to go. This one might be nice to take down a little bit. You never know. It's like, I did it where everything else. It's not going to take much paint. Sometimes these things, I always don't do, I always fight myself on how many I'm going to mix up, but that's basically nothing. Here we have phthalo green. It's phthalo green, but tons of blue. Basically blue, a little phthalo green in it. And it's going to be our sky when it comes down to about a 7 with white. This, I took a piece of it and I made sure it was on the green side. And then I came down here, and this is going to be on the lighter side down in here. I only need like a brush stroke of it. That's all I'll need right there. That's about the right value to get me right into there. This is just blue and white. This is blue and white with just a little bit of alizarin into it. That's just right here is just to say that this is what would happen if I was just using ultramarine as a color. And instead of being this color, it would be this color. That's really what would happen. I took these colors, these greens up here, and brought them down, and I added cad yellow to them. Brought them right to get them right about in this area here. And then I split those piles, and I put in some sky into each one of these guys. A little bit of blue white into each one of these guys to cool them off to be these guys up here. Will help to be those and get into little areas here and help out areas. Oh shit, I didn't do the red. Okay. One last thing. This would be done at the end probably anyway. I'd be doing alizarin, which is a little bit cooler. I might add just a touch of blue to it. Touch of blue to get it kind of a dark red. And that could be the box. Not going to be very many flowers. It's going to be a few flowers. But the other thing in colors, I'm going to get the mid-tone of the flower. And that would just be straight alizarin with a cad red mixed in. About half and half. Maybe not quite half and half, but it's starting to get maybe you can see it's just a slight warmth, but that's good. So I'm going to take half this pile and I'm going to go back and put some alizarin into it. Because I like one on the cool side, one on the warm side. That's a little bit warm still. And then I'll just add white to these guys. And that's all I'll have to do. Just see it's still warm. There we go. Really have to add that alizarin into it to get it to the color. That's a little dark, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to take these colors. I'm going to got to get some room. And I'm going to add white to them. Get to about, again, this value. So it's a lot of white added into these colors. If I get a little blue in it, it's cool because that's great. That's reflecting in everything. So you can start to see how that starts to marry in there really quickly. Same here. This should be a little cooler than that. That's a little on the red side. This is on the cooler side even. And you're going to see that as being like the highlights. I'm going to try and stay really close to this one. I'm going to probably add just a touch more white to it. And I won't be doing too much more with that. These guys are all, these reds, pretty much at the end. And I'm going to use them as a design element to get this thing to move at the end. So everything's in there. So let's get going. We've spent enough time. There's a lot of mixing, right? It took up half the class almost to do mixing and talk about this thing.
Sorry, Jim.
Oh, you showed up. Congrats. Way to go.
Well, you guys started an hour early.
No.
Are you on summertime already?
Yeah, we switched. You guys don't switch when we switch? I thought the whole world switched around us.
No. I think you're the only ones who switch early.
Oh no, this switching is the stupidest thing there is. Why would we do that?
They should just stay on summertime. That would be great.
Farmers don't need it. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were off time here. So you're even farther back, right? Or since we move forward.
Yeah. So it's 3:30 in the afternoon here.
Oh my God, so you would have started at 2. When do you change? You guys change?
Yeah, we changed during Easter, so on the 31st, Sunday the 31st.
Okay, so, okay. Well, we're getting there. That's next week, so,
Is it? That happened fast. Okay.
yeah, the 29th is next week, right?
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I'll just know for next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday, one more time. And then we'll be on equal footing.
Yeah.
Sorry, that thing is starting to fall over. Oh, you guys can't even see that anyway. Okay, so I'm so sorry about that. Maybe I'll remember one of these days. Okay.
Well, I should have checked. I should have looked. So
No,
you
it's
know,
no. It's one of those things. We have really no control over.
Mm.
Okay. Do you need help with these colors?
No, I'll just watch and then watch the video after.
All right. Well, this is Toulouse, or not Toulouse, but it's around Toulouse. It's where we stayed last summer, and we're going back this summer. It should be fun. This is from our host there. She took this photo. She's always taking some really nice photos. Sorry, I got to get my painting up, or my image up. What? Oh, God. Did I not put it over here? Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna see if I found it. I think I didn't throw it over here either. So we got a little bit of, boy, I tell you, it get rusty pretty quickly. I'm putting these things together. It's not there. So let me send it over there from here. Come on. There it is. Yay, got it. All right. I can paint. Okay. Anyway, you guys need to mix colors anyway a little bit longer, right? Okay. Now you're talking. Now you caught up. So those are the colors. Those are the beautiful colors. I'll bring this in a little bit to here. Tilt it down a little bit so you can get the painting and the image in. Slide it over here. Okay. So I can don't cover up too much. All right. I'm going to tone this with some burnt sienna. I like to tone it, get rid of all the white. I will take it easy in the when I tone it up here, because I don't want to gray out any color I put. The toning. I'm going to burn sienna. We'll gray out the green, the blue I've got to put in here, or I'll have to really load it in there. So I'm going to take it a little easier on that. So let's get going. This is a big brush. I'm using my big brush here to put it in. Just a little bit of oil. Ooh, my brush is still has a little bit of green in it, so it has a little dog color in it from Water Dog from my workshop. But we will work that out really quickly. That's okay. If it's green, you know, I'm just looking to get rid of my white. This is just a mix of phthalo green, probably, and burnt sienna. It's supposed to be burnt sienna, but I just have a little bit of green left tinge into my brush here. So let's take this out. Well, this pretty much goes up here anyway. Well, let's just do this side, and that by the time we get done here, my it should be good to go over here. I just want to stay out of the sky with this color right now because of I think it's just going to gray out the sky and force me to use a lot of color. Which is not a bad thing, but usually sky you don't need a ton of work on. So this is just burnt sienna. Just going to put it in the street. Definitely is going to end up in the street. And as you can tell, I'm just kind of working out the painting a little bit as I go. But after I wipe this off, it's pretty much gone anyway. So. I'm going to wipe this in a little bit. And then I'll draw it out a little bit better. Up here, I just don't want, I'm not even, I barely touch it. Just so there's just a little bit of oil on the canvas now. I'm just wiping that off and wiping it in. One of the things that really starts this canvas accepting paint is just this rubbing. It works. This is linen, so that's why it really just needs to be probably really cheap linen too. We get a Jerry's stuff, Jerry's Artarama, and it's by touching it and rubbing it in and stuff to get rid of all the light white spots in there. And I don't have to come back. Okay. Get that, it's a little bit of light up there. Find your other light area. Definitely off center, right? This area here, just where that little, I'm gonna move this over so you guys can see it. Easily. There we go. So I'm just gonna basically draw it in. What I'm going to do is wipe out these areas here. I'm thinking highlight's going to go. Definitely the middle. You know, we on the 1/3 side. We're going to be 1/3 that way, 1/3 about here. You know, with the things. So I'm going to draw it in too, but I'm just wiping out areas I think it's going to be. Yeah, wall's done. This is a little red compared to my yeah, it's a lot red compared to my thing there. I think my printer's going. It's really, I have been having a lot of trouble with my inks lately. The yellows just are not coming through anymore. Anyway, voice an excuse, not me. It's something else, right? Okay. So I'm going to draw it in with, again, burnt sienna. Just thin out my paint up here. So I get a nice consistency for drawing. Again, 1-point perspective we're going to work with. You know, these old buildings, they're all a little cockeyed these days because they've been up for centuries, things like that. But we're still going to go with the basic 1-point perspective. So I'm thinking right about here. I said 1/3 over, 1/3 over, 1/3 high, probably about there. So that's the line I'm going to go back to. Everything is going to go back to this dot. So the side of the building is going to point that way. The side of the wall going to point that way. I probably can go down a little bit, angle it down a little bit more. Trying to get off here, probably right about there. Upwise too, the same thing. So really, this thing goes almost all the way off right up here. And this other building starts up here, and so it goes down to there. So that's what you have. So that tells you the angles for the bottom and the top. The sides, you got to come up with a little bit of yourself. Usually they are, you know, perspective wise, you're looking down here, everything's going up, so everything goes up to a point. So, so 1/3, this is where I want this side of the building to be. 1/3 in, right about over here, a little bit less than 1/3 in. And then the other building right here, this is with the window in it. Yeah, I don't want to make that mark yet. I have to get the roof line for this thing going back. Okay. If I get that, then I can put in the window where the window can go. So, a little long for the window, but that's okay. And then the other building, they're going to find this as being probably a lot shallower than I had it. This is going to go up. Tree is going to show, tells me the tree is going to come in here, come over here, back in here, just like a little triangle, right? Tree itself goes in here too. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put in that tree yet. It doesn't need to be put in with a. I want to paint everything else around it. Look at, there is a building in the back that kind of closes everything off. So I want to put that building line right at my vanishing point. And then you got, think about the light, where that light goes. Little angles. Sometimes it's better to put things at a little bit steeper angle. Like that. You got to build it. Bush here, gonna be up there. You got a lot of shadows going in here. Okay, the hardest thing after this is where all the flowers go, right in here. Right? Okay. Don't need to do that. They're just come in here like a triangle. No big deal. The bush tree goes there. You know, that's more things coming in here. Yeah, the toughest thing is the chair. That's where one of these brushes come in handy. I'm going to put it in, but I'll probably end up painting right over it because of that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's just going to end up being painted over. Here's the line in the wall. It probably curves just a little bit at the bottom here. It curves. But right in here, it's kind of like a little dark area right here. So I'm putting that in right over there. It's really about halfway, a little bit over halfway. So it probably could come right to here. Or this wall could come back a little bit too. Okay, good. Anyway, that tells me right in front of that is the chair. Basically, it's a nice chair. All perspective wise on that chair, you know, you can use a lot of the wall for it. You know, the bottom of the wall for this for this thing and send it all right. No, you don't have just slightly off center, taking it back. So this brush is great for this kind of stuff. But, you know, even if you did just go take it all right back to that dot, you'll be fine too. This thing is just a little bit off. And you don't have to be perfect on this. So basically it has a little crossbar in the back and a little one in the middle. I'll be painting it just like that at the end. Shadow here and greenery behind. So knowing that there's a shadow here, there's a little triangle of a shadow of something up there. And then over here, I'm definitely not going to put in the lantern till the end, because that just takes up so much space up there that I'd rather not. If I need it up higher, because if this bush here, I want to make sure this bush is in right. If I don't want to touch it, I want to move it up there. You know, that kind of little things. That's one of the moving parts I'd like to have when I get there. So, all right, ta-da! We are 3/4 of the way through this painting. Now we got a tone down. We got the drawing in that looks pretty crappy. That's okay. Now I'm just going to tone this thing, really put in the darks in the green areas. So I'm going to put just the colors just like I laid them out. Warm greens here, cool greens back there. So basically I'm going with warm greens is the oxide red and phthalo green mix. And really going to load this in right in this area here. These spots and going in there. I'll put them more heavily where I think the middle of that area is going to be, and down here coming into where it comes off, and have that feed me back in. Start this roundness going through here to the painting. That is and I'm going to just brush it out down the wall. This color is probably not that heavily right in here. I think it's right behind this chair and this wall. And right down this line here. That is the red side of the phthalo green and coming into it. It's not going to be quite as heavy. It should be a little lighter than this. I can throw just a touch of oil in my brush and brush that out a little bit. It's got a little heavy. I was trying to make sure everybody knew where this spot was, where I was talking about this being a phthalo green and oxide red side. Spot right here, this coolness of that wall back in here. You know, that's pretty much what it looks like. This is, like I said, just a touch red. I'm going to take it up here too. Same thing, just keep it going up here. All right. I'm going to use that color over here too. Make sure I got a few spots in here too on this warm wall here, right in here. But I think I can see it under. It's going to push that cool green that's going to go above it really nicely. But I want to get this in here. I saw it there, and this might be too soon to do. It probably is too soon, but I would be thinking about creases in this right up in here. It's a warmness that I want to get in there, and then follow the perspective down, point back down to that line, this dot here, this edge here, points of that. So that's all I have to do. Perspective wise, it will feel good. It might not be exactly what is happening in this building, but it will feel right, which is more important sometimes than being right. It'll feel, because we're the only ones seeing this, and the viewer is going to see it straight like we do. And if things are cockeyed, they're okay in a photo cockeyed, but when we get it to this point, we got to make sure it's right. I'm going to come back in here. Okay, I have my warm green in here now. This is the oxide red. This is the other side of it. This is the more phthalo green side of it. And I can fill in pretty much the rest of it, and just definitely in this area here, pushing, just making sure that we have that warm center here.
What color are you using there, Jim?
I am using the green side of the phthalo green and oxide red. And I'm going to bring that down here. There's some flowers down here. Just get it into that building, into the wall here a little bit and stuff. I'm not going to worry about too much about the branches of this rose bush, but I'm going to get at least in the bottom of this thing, anything in here, warm greens. No white, just warm greens, just red greens. And that'll take care of that part. All right. I'm just going to move my next color. The next color is phthalo green and alizarin. This is on the green side again. And what I'm going to do is start transitioning this warm green here as we go back in the back end of it right in here, with that cooler green. It's a little more grayed out. It has a little more blue in it, and it's cooler with the alizarin. You're going to find it really heavy into this bush shadow, right underneath that window, coming out right there. Find it right there. Inside that bush, you're going to find it. So. Okay, going back here, even the line, and you're going to find right behind this thing, there's a little growth of weeds and stuff. And using these weeds and stuff right here, these greens, to really close off the line here, make this line stop, keeping the painting, everything inside. Same over here. You're going to see these shadows here breaking this line of the street and the side where the wall goes. Definitely need those. You got to have breaks like that to break that line, to keep everything, all the energy inside, so it keep vibrating against each other. Okay. I'm going to go to, this is still the green side of that color. Back here, the tree. And edge of the back of the wall back in here. That tree is this color. That line right there, that could be either that color or just a little more red into it. I'm not going to paint that yet. I'll paint everything else. I want to be able to paint that area in one clean marks, and I can put in that little area very easily into that area. But I'm going to go up here, and now I'm going to go to the red side. I say red side, but it's more purple side. And it's really dark. Boy, is that dark? Isn't that dark? Yeah, but it's going to have all these greens, blue greens coming over this thing. So I'm just going to mark this area off a little bit, knowing that cool greens are going to come over it. And light like this. Except for in the shadow area. Shadow area right here underneath the lantern, you know, this is where we start to create light. I mean, you really create the idea of light when these spots start to match up. This line here, this tells me right here is going to be pretty much shadow underneath the window. And that tells me this up here is going to be shadow up here too. Right there. Just a little bit more in. But they should line up a little bit. Straight up above it. That creates shadows and things like that. Also the shadow underneath the building. Putting that in with this alizarin and phthalo green, but this isn't going to be on, this is on the purple side. This will take me right as I'm painting. It's just, I try to work where one color leads me to the next color, leads me to the next color, where I'm not, and I don't change, I just wipe out my brush. I don't have to totally go back to a new brush or anything. I'm going to look at this. It leads me right to the big areas in here. This is what I want to do. I want the big areas to fill out really quick. So I am putting in this coolness into the street here. This is where I said that I don't care about too much about this chair here, because there's shadows underneath it. The shadows are really important because they're really nice lines. So I want to get this shadow in underneath here. Keep it really clean. That's how clean I'm going to keep it at the end. So that's where it tells me where the thing goes. I'm just going to using this green and alizarin together to get this area really clean. When I get here, this little triangle, I have no idea what that is up there. There's probably a tent or something kind of coming across here, you know, doing some shading. I don't have that information in me. It doesn't really make a difference to me. You know, the only thing is the shadow of this thing down in here. That's okay. But this color is working out really good. Okay, I'm gonna go right to the street now. Start working on the street. That should take me to the wall, and then when that should lighten up, I'll be able to finish up the rest of the wall. Then it'll take me to the greens, finish the greens, then it'll take me to the reds. Yeah, I got to get the blues in there too. They'll be in there somewhere. Maybe they'll come in after this. So I'm going to go here and go down to burnt umber. Oh, this is burnt sienna and burnt sienna and blue. No white yet. No white yet. That's pretty dark. That's pretty cool. I'm going to put that in the middle of this, or the front edge of the shadow here. I put the back end in with the blue phthalo green and alizarin. So the front edge right in here, I'm going to put in a little warmer. Maybe I'll even do that here too, just to make that shadow flatten out. Getting a warm in front of it, a cool, the warm's going to come forward, and that just automatically flattens out that area. Okay. This is probably not going to go very far. As I can see, it's just not enough blue in that color. I kept pushing it. I just never got the glue to take over. I don't want to keep you guys waiting forever. It's not like a big thing. It's an easy little fix to do. It's just keep adding glue to it. But I know how much you guys look up to me, so I just didn't want no.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I get punchy. Yeah, just goofy on these things. Thanks for the answer.
Mm.
So how's we talked about your new money pit going in.
Yeah, the very deep one. It's I was there this morning and it's so we had the bat. Did I tell you about the bat?
You had a bat? Yeah.
I'm not sure about the United States, but bats are protected here. So if you if on any part of your property you find any bats, then you have to protect them. You have to build homes for them, and you can't do any more construction work, especially while they're hibernating.
Okay.
So
This sounds fun. Are you writing
Yeah.
all this down too? We want a book.
Oh God, it's going to be a tragedy, I think. So, so I have I've trusted these Polish guys for like over a decade, and so they sent me a photo, and it looked like a possum, and I thought, oh my God, are there possums in England? Because it was inside, it wasn't in a barn, it was in a room inside in the sitting room. And
in your house?
yeah,
I mean, oh,
and their English isn't great. And I thought it was a dead possum that had been splat against the wall. So I said, what is that? And they said, we don't know. We'll try and find out. And then they said, it's a bat. And immediately I thought, oh no, oh my God, this is like, add another £100,000, right? To build the bat shelter, the officially government approved bat shelter.
It got to be a condo, right? It got to be beautiful.
Oh, yeah, with escape routes and roostings and yeah. So, so then I asked a weird question for them, being as there was a language barrier. Then I thought it looked dead, so I said, "How old is it?" I thought it was 300 years old. That's what I was thinking. Well, maybe it's just been dead and mummified there in the wall.
Yeah.
And so then they thought, how the hell can we determine how old a bat is? We don't know. We've never seen one before. But it was alive and hibernating. And they thought that I was asking, did I think it was a year old or 2 year old or something?
What's its age?
Yeah, that's what they thought. So anyway, so we built the bat home for it, around it, and proper bat house. And then we couldn't work downstairs. And then we had a very welcome warm snap here in February. And the bat decided to wake up and leave. So that was good.
It did leave?
Yeah, you use you have to have a protected way for it to get outside if it's inside. So all of that was built for the bat. And then it used it to escape.
It hasn't found its way back in?
No, I think maybe it was the Polish accents were unfamiliar, and so it decided to find a home somewhere else in a barn, which is perfect for a bat, right?
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of cool, but a huge curveball at the time.
Yeah. More expense. Always more expense.
It is. It really is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But this is going to be your dream house, right?
Fingers crossed. It's when I was there, you go like in the week it was raining, it was freezing cold, and there's no floors, there's no walls and everything, and I'm thinking, oh, this, I hate it. So you just have to hold, just hold the dream.
Yeah. Hold on, you'll work out.
Yeah.
It'll work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will.
Yeah.
It might just cost a ton of money, but it'll work out.
Yeah. It's
so
it will be nicely done when it's finished. It's all all the regulations that you have to follow for a house that age, and
yeah.
everything will be done properly,
Oh
really
God.
nicely insulated and all that.
We watch here a lot of that Clarkson farm.
Oh God, he's so funny.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is so
didn't
funny. And
yeah.
he's always running up against that stuff. We're all going, what, really? Come on,
Yeah,
you really have to deal with that?
yeah.
Yeah, we do. Oh, like, oh
Yeah, it's a thing. There's regulations you don't even know exist, and you think you're doing. I knew the bat thing, but
yeah.
no one else knew the bat thing. I don't know why I knew the bat thing, but it's like horrors, and they're cute, right? I think bats are cute and ugly at the same time. But
Yeah.
gosh, yeah,
Cute and ugly at the same time. That sounds like me.
you're fishing for compliments again, Jim.
Ta-da! That's all I do.
Yeah,
Oh
so
gosh.
yeah, so all the wooden floors, even we've only been able to save 2 original of the floors, and it's pine. It's nothing. I mean, pitch pine is common here, not oak or
Mhm.
anything. And of the 8 rooms floors that were wooden or are wooden, only 2 are salvageable because of the rot.
Oh.
Right.
Mm,
Oh. Oh. Well.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Uh, y- You'll be all right. I know you.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Bruce thinks possible. It will be possible to move in by Christmas 2025.
Okay. Are
Yeah,
you gonna get a
and
studio out of this? I hope. Hanging studio or
ideally, yeah,
something?
the bat was in my preferred studio.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's
my preferred studio room. Yeah,
you need something to look forward to.
yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Back to this for a second though. I just put in the street. Sorry guys. And the street is one of those things. The more marks and you leave your thick and thin paint, the more it's going to be nice. It's going to represent this without working too hard. So what I did, I put in the burnt sienna and blue mix in here, a little heavy, and then I had to go down to the basically where I added white, where it becomes the right value, right? And I used both. I found more on the blue side was doing the trick on this, and then back in here, it's just a little bit more on the brown side, the burnt sienna side back there. I probably can go one little bit lighter, but I want to sneak up on that. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So that's what I did there. And that's about it. I made sure I had the shadow in here beforehand, and then that light back there. I might put that in too, but I'm thinking that might go in a little cooler as I go back there. So it might be on more like this on the blue side or the light side back in there. And I'm just going to keep it really simple back there and make that stroke. This is where I was thinking right in here, it's probably going to need to be a little lighter, like more that value and touch. But this is going, I don't want to, give this too much information. I want this to be kind of a nice mix of strokes and things like that. So they're a little bit this way, a little bit that way, just whatever I can see where things are going and things. There's a little more warmth right in here too. I might catch that, but I need a green brush for that. I'm not to the greens yet. All right. To the wall. Basically, I'm going to go back to my red, back to my palette, and I'm going to grab my red and Cad Red and Phthalo Green mix. I'm going to go on the green side because the red side is going to come in here, so I want to start back in here. Also, I got a lot of figuring I have a lot of this other stuff in here in my brush. I don't have a beautifully cleaned out brush color wise. This will give me a little time to get that color into this brush, work it in a little bit. It's really, really dark too. And so I am really taking it kind of light, you know, with the color up here. Definitely not much here, but I think I can use it at the very tip top of where this stuff goes. I think that's going to be nice there. I would also look for it. I know I put it in over here with a little bit more darker, but I might come back with a little bit more warmth in there and up there. Probably maybe on the red side. Okay, this is on the red side of that color, phthalo green and cad red. And this is going to be the separation of it. This should work in. What I'm going to do is take this area here and just separate out little areas. I think I already have them marked out almost as I go. I can almost mark out these light areas here going against the greens. And those are where I will probably end up putting in the a couple branches of roses and other things. Leaves would be good. So we'll be doing that. And I'm just going to tone this down really at this bottom part and into there. All I'm looking for is to get a little bit of this color into the dull areas here, because we'll be painting some rocks pretty soon. This is probably going to feel really heavy, but I want to get this red up here a little bit higher. Definitely want to keep those warm spots, but just be able to see a little bit of warmth here and there, you know, in these spots will help it out. Okay, value wise, basically if you squint, I'm getting closer to it, but I don't have to get very much farther. I'm going to blend out this green a little bit heavy. That's got a little heavy on this side. But as soon as we add white to this, a little white to this area, this green's going to cool off. And these guys should really pop out pretty good. I think in the middle of this wall, I'm going to warm it up. Okay, so that's basically the wall and into that. Look over here. This wall over here, this is very cool. Very cool. And this is where I was going to say, the only thing warm on this wall is just this little bit of light and the shadow from this plant coming down. So I'm putting it in with cad red and phthalo green on the red side. I put it in with the green side, and now I'm putting over it just a little bit more warmth in the middle of it. Over here, you might even see it right here on the under the overhang here. That red, that would work really good there. I'm going to tone the stone too, or the tile roof here on this thing. I'm just going to tone it with some color. Value wise, just get it in there. You know, probably don't have a goofy little thing there. This window's up probably just a hair high, which is good. I don't, just looking at that, I did put a couple of greens back in here too. This is the one that covers up some of the house back there, and there's just a little bit of building back there showing, but it's very light. There's a I might make an arch back in here too. That'd be nice in that building or something like that. You know, the roof goes right in there, and then there's just a little archway here, so it'd be grayed out. That'd be pretty back there. Archways always just X, even though it might be an umbrella. I'm making it an archway. Make it work for us. Okay. Tone down. Basically, nice blocking already set. You know, I don't have the chair in. but I want to get the wall in, make sure the wall is right behind it, and everything else. Let me see see, I don't want to go to the blue yet because my brush is still in the warm section. And there's no need to flop back and forth. So I'll be going in the greens and then I can get into the blues and then I'll get into the hot yellows. Yellows usually are closer to the end. Skies are usually near the end too. So let's start working on this area here a little bit. Let me try this. This is the Cad Red and Phthalo Green with just a little bit of light in it, a little white to it, probably about a 7. It's on the red side. So I'm thinking that could be right in here a little bit. And I'm just going to brush it in with this thing. And it's not going to be, I'm not looking for, I'm going to do indications of bricks. I'm trying to use what's there, but I don't want, probably, I don't want to be here all day trying to finish it off and stuff. So I'm just going to put them in. So this just has a little bit of white into it. Then this warm red here. Grate it out nicely. You're going to, we cooled it off. The green starts to come through a little bit more. And it's really happens right in here, even though it's very red here. There's a lot of coolness that's coming in this side right here. Right here too, it gets a little cool too. I'm going to bring that up here a little bit more into this section here. Also, if I work it in on the edges where I put that green, it's going to cool it off just a little bit too. Just pull these guys down, tone them down. Just soften the edge a little bit. I'll be putting flowers in over this. Okay, this side of the wall, definitely on the greener side. So same colors, just green. This is good. I'll see if this works. This might be, a little too cool. Just a hair too cool. It's a little more red into it. So the green took over. So just a little more warm. So, but yet it's a little grayness to it. There, that's it. I could feel, I'm not going to touch too much of this corner here. And I'm going to leave it right there because most of the stuff here, the more you untouch things, the better it is. Look for a few spots up in here to bring that color. There's a couple nice bricks in here that have some nice light on them. Sometimes just that different tone of coolness to warmth and stuff, will work. This is probably just a little too cool, but hey, it's working. Rocks are all different kind of colors, so never know. Gonna make sure one thing though, when I do it, I don't get too bright in my corners. So the painting kind of keeps revolving. I don't give them an out here on here. So okay, that's good. Let me look at that color over here. This is on the cool side. This is Phthalo Green and Cad Red with on the green side with white. I'm thinking this color is going to go right over here. Might be just a little warm. But for most of it, all the way down here, I think it's going to be great. I'm going to cool it off at the top, but I'm going to put it all in and then just cool it off. Simple way to just do these things. even in the shadow here. That shadow to come over that window. As I get back in here. Okay, I'm going to go to the cooler side of that now. This is oxide red and green with white in it. And it's just a little cooler than that oxide red or cad red and phthalo green, which is on this side. So I'm going to use that. And then here's the cool side of that. There's a little more green in it. It might be a little bit too much, but right in here, it's going to be like a reflection of the wall of this tree. Coolness right in there. You can take that up. It's just a hair dark, but not bad. Not horrible. Okay, it's horrible, but we're going to live with it. Now take this cool side again. I'm going to work the shadow of this yellow building here with that. There's two pieces of shadow here. There's a warm side and a cool side. Really a little triangle of coolness to warmth. So on this side's going to be definitely that color. I'm going to go back here to cad red here. This is cad red and phthalo green. Use that right in this little triangle of light on that, just on that side of the building here. So it has basically the square split in half. One half is cool, really reflecting coolness at the top coming down. But on this edge here, this front edge, you can see a lot of warmth right in the stone, right in the corner here. That is the cad red. That is your cad red and phthalo green showing through right there. This right here too. I'm just going to touch this thing here a little bit, get it over here. Softening these areas up. Getting everything prepared. Now I have a little bit of light. This is a cad red and a phthalo green, but it's on the cad red side. Definitely can start to get this light on this edge of the roof here. Only halfway back. The other half goes a little greener. So I'm going to cool it off. About there. Guys, got this? We all done? We're set? All right, we are getting there. This is like, I did not put in this plant here. I'm sorry, 1 second here. I'm gonna put in some dark underneath it. I'm gonna put a cool dark because I'm thinking this green's gonna start to come through on top of it. This is a mid-tone green. This is a oxide red and phthalo green. It's on the green side. Just coolness to show into that spot. I want to get this, use it over here too. On this side behind, this is right behind the chair. Okay, the chair I'm going to put in next. When I get the chair in, I can start putting in all the rest of the greens. Right in here too. I did kind of miss this shadow coming in here a little bit. This is what I was talking about, the stop. The shadow crossing over this area here too. So making sure I have that in. This is like a nice base tone for that. That's good. Okay. Chair. I'm going to clean my brush. Maybe I need to you know, think about this. I got the shadow in here, straight above the shadow, you know, about here. No, it's really right here. So even with the shadow, same vet, same line. And so this would be where the seat's gonna go. Right there. I'm gonna just make sure everything behind here is touched up. Okay. So getting that triangle. Get the leg coming down. There, and the leg comes off the back end, straight down too. Well, maybe slightly forward, but not much. Coming up, I'm going to tip the back end, goes back just a hair. And it shouldn't go up. Okay. Like I said, point it all back. You point it back to that area, you're in good shape too. Basically, I'm just going to make sure that when I put in this chair right in here, you know, I'm going to put in the shadow first, and then I'm going to put in the light. Same up here. That's all I need. Everything else is done with the big brush. I'm going to go back to my browns. I'll probably even go back to this first color. This is pretty good. Let's see what it does. This is phthalo green and oxide red. That's pretty good there. The nice thing to think about in this chair, even if I use it here, I'm going to use it just to touch everything, is getting a little bit of that warmth back in here of some reds and things will be really nice. I'm not going to get lost in details too much on inside here too much. Definitely would love to have a little more red into it. Maybe this, let's see what this does. This is burnt sienna and blue. The burnt sienna side. Hoping that was going to be right here. Can't tell. Okay, doesn't do anything. All right, doesn't do anything. All right. Where are we today? Oh, we still got half an hour to paint. So we should have this thing blocked in perfectly. It's really moving along. Yeah, this stuff looks chaotic, but basically a couple worms, and we're not even there yet. When we get done, we should have just enough time to get through all of our colors. I'm going to switch off to a little bit smaller brush for this one. I need to get in here to get a couple nice strokes and get this green in, this shadow, and it has a little bit of greenish yellow to it. And I'm looking at my palette to see if I have anything that's pretty close to it. I think this one, in fact. Let me see if this works. I'm going to go just to right where it starts and where it ends. Well, that's just a little bit. Oh, cool. That was phthalo green and oxide red. Now I'm coming back in the bottom of that shadow with cad red and phthalo green. And then up here, definitely a little more of that color right in here, this padded back right there. I think just a touch lighter, just a hair more white in that color. That was the mid-tone too. That's not the light tone. I'm going to take a little bit of light tone and put it in here. This is like the little details you do to bring this out. The crossbar in the back here. Is the more, really stands out. That's just putting able to move enough paint and just the tip of my brush without pushing too hard, just really laying the very tip in there. And just getting the side of that area. Now I need to bring the warmth into this side, just the light side. So I got the basic done. And this is the kind of stuff that will set your painting off. When you find your shadows like this over here, you separate those shadows out, right? You figure them out. But on this thing, knowing that this leg here and this back leg here just has a little bit of highlight, this front one is your game right here. If you can get enough light and shadow to show up, you can get this thing to turn. So basically I'm putting the highlight or the lighter value now is red, cad red and green here. Just putting it in the middle of that thing, but really there's this one spot down in here, the bottom foot of it. If you hit it right, that's going to be really nice. That'll work out. And then the back edge here, just the back edge of the chair light. Yeah, kind of need to put a little more dark back in there. Right in here, behind here. Going up here. Green. Let's get that in. I like to keep everything loosey-goosey here. Just think about this shadow, just that square shadow. Showing through here. Okay. That is what I want. Really clean edge right here. And that even has a little more green in it. Giving a little bit of stuff back in here, maybe pushing this back edge, getting rid of my line here I made. Okay, I'm gonna add just a touch of green to that. Okay, not much. Now the highlight. I'm gonna look at this. Yeah, I got a yellow white over here I kind of can go with. It's just a little bit too light. I'm like in mid-tone of it. Maybe add a little bit of green to it. Okay, so I'm going to put in this guy. Really get this corner here nicely. Back corner. And have it come into this area here. Lift up my brush as I go. Just get that little edge. Now my brush should be at least a little green in it. And now I can come back in here, just touch this one back corner here, warm it up just a little bit in the shadow here to come forward a little bit more, that palette, that seat. There is a red brown too, a little rich kind of red brown. Has a little more orange in it than anything else right here on the edge. And so what I took was some of our cad orange, phthalo green, and using it there. Now that's touched, I can come around this other side and let the dappled light kind of effect come through. Dappled light is always fun. That is the fun stuff, because, you know, picking up just a few warm spots and letting everything go. It's really cool. Always love that. Giving an idea of a chair without doing the chair. All right, I just need to do this back edge. It's almost the same color, so I think I can use that same color back there. So I'm going to touch oil since I'm going over wet paint. Just touch my oil a little bit, and that's probably what I should have done back in here too. I should touch oil before I put my brush down, because that would have gave me just a cleaner spot like that. But I was figuring I was going to get it there anyway. Okay, so this, I'll just do the top one. Same thing, just a touch of oil. More, it's just that back edge here, and just a sliver there. And that's it. You know, then you're going to start getting into the plants. All you need to do is just get a couple cleaner lines coming down. All right, let's get to the back, get the greens in, get the sky in, and we should be really good. Oh, we didn't put the flowers. All right. Jesus Christ, what the hell am I doing? Our first class and we're running short on time already. Okay. Big brush. I'm gonna come back in my big brush here, clean it out a little bit. I'm gonna put the blue in, put the sky in real quick. Definitely, I'm gonna start with that really rich. Oh, this is straight blue. I'm gonna go with the straight blue first. This is blue and just a little bit of white. No green, no nothing in it, except for some impurities in my brush right now. And try not to touch too much of the greens and stuff, trying to get that color nice and clean here at the beginning. Bring it down as far as I need to. And just thin this out, loosen the line a little bit. Come back in. Okay. Now I'll go to a little lighter version of that. This is the lighter version with a little more white. Really not doing much, not too much different, but it is. This is the phthalo green side of it. I'll bring it in and put in here. That will give this sky a little iridescence. I'm definitely bring it up in here a little bit. Bring it into these trees a little bit, tree edges. Underneath. Let's get all that done. I want to paint that whole section now. I didn't even do the person. Sorry, the person I didn't even think about. Next, they all come out of some of these dark colors. Like I said, probably alizarin and a little blue. I'm just gonna paint under this section here into that green. This is just a lot more white added to that color. But it's not too bright yet. Okay. Let's get rid of that little line that's showing. The building itself back there, it's more of a white yellow. And just the mix of my little sky in my brush, you know, should do it. I mean, the color I had right here is really it anyway. We'll do it. I want to keep it just a little sky-y back there. Then I can heat, it's going to keep coming forward with that same color a little bit. Put it in this cooler area I had right in here. That I'm not trying to wipe out that color, just trying to hit the middle of it. And you'll start to see it just start to warm up. While I'm in this yellow area now, I'll look for the warmth, that front building. That front building white. It didn't really mix up. It just got to be a little more white into it. Maybe just a touch of green. Warm up the yellow. Grab my paint, wipe my brush, grab my paint. Right in here. Take it and just let the brush make the lines. Definitely have to do just up here. Split that building there. Like I said, up here, value-wise, this building right there is pretty close to what I need. I think I gotta take this side over a little redder. This is where I'm using some of the phalos again, or midtones. Oh, I mean high key colors, midtones that have now been grayed out, purpled out. This color here I'm using now. Where did I grab that? Oh, it's more phthalo green and cad red, whitened out a little bit. I don't want to be too perfect either there. I don't have to be. This area here. Now, as I get going here, adjustments, you start to see adjustments that need to be made. Really pop that. Pop this chair a lot more. They need stronger shadows around it for lighter things around it. I'm just using again the white high key phthalo green cad red mix in there just to pop that. Maybe really right here on the back edge with that chair and into that shadow. Probably gonna have to hit a few spots in there and right here too, just to get that dappled light. The thing is, now that my brush has done that and touched these other colors and gotten a little bit of dirt into them, you know, to go back in here and just touch a few spots in here and we'll be fine. The value will probably be a lot greener, grayer. Problem is just trying to get a different size with a big brush. It's always tough to do. All right, we are into the final greens. Let's get some greens in here and then reds, and I think we'll be good. I mean, yeah, the guys, I'm gonna put him in as a block, and then put his legs in, and then put his shoulders in and head in. He's not more than a square. I can put him in if you guys want to wait around for a minute and stuff. Probably get that in. But I'm getting into my greens right now. And I'm going to go my yellow greens. And the brightest one is right here behind this area here. Let's get that going in here. Definitely put the strength of that color, my first marks, you know, really close to where they need to be, with strength, where the strength of that color really is. And then after it has polluted my brush a little bit, I can come out to the outsides and start to, you know, dabble in this stuff. But really, that color is just, main color goes right here. I'll look at other places. You might see it right over here popping out. A couple leaves though. It's a different plant, so different leaves. Didn't do much there. You didn't see me use too much of it here because this rose bush is a bluer tint to the green going. But as you can see, just this color is just starts to gray out, red out, gray out. You know, I can find a little spots of it right and back here, even back in here. Now it's going to catch the blue and pretty much take care of everything back in here. Just one color being used back right. All right. Yeah, there is some grayed out ones I got to use. And I'll be onto the bush. This one's going to have a little more grayed out. I just think I'm going to have to do it a little bit here. Get a little too similar to that. So I'm just putting a little more red into that color. A little bit too much. Too much brush. That's okay though. Get it up here. Soften it up. There's only a few little branches that I need to, you know, really nail. That's just really just chops up a little bit, trying not to get too, finding that shadow area I stop at. The light stops at that shadow area. And then even in the darks and stuff. Now that my brush is really kind of touched this dark and is polluted up enough. I mean, you get the right colors, you can get the mid-tones out of this very easily. And finish this off. If I ever need a nice color, I flip my brush, lighten it up. Just getting the top edges, these shapes. And I'm not going to put in too many. Let's bring this back in and start to lead our eye in here. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to switch off to a smaller regular brush here. Keep these kind of in a blue-green color. I'm not going to worry too much about this area, but I'm just going to get think about the leaves here. This has a little bit of round edge. This one's like a filbert. So I can get in that nice round edge and a flat edge at the same time. Really good for leaves. Making sure that has a little round edge here and there. Okay, coming up. Don't see too much up here. These are all just slashes up there, slashes. Cooler green here sometimes. Have to come forward. The light and the sky mix a little bit. That beautiful dark here and there, we're just going to nibble at the corners and not touch it. Just get a few. All I'm hitting is highlights. I'm not hitting too much of anything else. I want one to point to this edge here of this tree or the chair. So that's what I'm doing there. And then everything else, a lot of little things that are be beautiful to put in with a mat or a palette knife. So, and a couple little more yellow or greens pointing in here. A little brightness here showing there's more shadow coming in, light coming in over here. This side. You gotta brighten it up a little bit more. Feels better there. Just a few leaves there. On the outsides, hits a couple here. Same up here. There's just a lot more blue ones up here. Right in here, just kind of weave their way through here that way. Got my big one there. I'm really kind of looking for like big shapes. Getting those in, then you can get the medium size shapes right next to them and stuff, and you know, tells you where everything starts to go. Might go with some more bluer ones. Really get the sky here to start, you know, really filtering in this area. That would be really nice to do, just to lose this whole edge to little sky. Getting that little bit of blue to kind of bounce into over here will add a lot to this coolness against the warmth of that these dark areas. Getting a one that's just picking up a little bit more coolness in the sky and the green. Okay, I could, you know, there's a lot more these guys to do. All right, let's get the reds in. And then that will be it. And then we'll go see what you guys have done. All right, and then put a few reds in. Definitely, I'm going to start with my dark reds. This dark red here is just alizarin and a little bit of blue. I'm going to look in here, and there's not going to be too many of them, but I want to get a few ideas of real darkness in these leaves and stuff right in here. I want to get it at least away from the edge too. So getting a few of these back in. And if sometimes the green will get in the way here, and if it does, we'll take care of it. This is really good for even putting in all the vines colors. It has a little red into it. So if you had a little lines you need to draw in here at the end, add to this area here. That's good. That's well work. Okay. Now to really make it work, I might take and want to get clean spots few spots because I got a lot of green here. You know, and it has like a little bouquet of flowers here. So let's just pop out a couple squares. We're gonna go a few minutes long today. I want to see your work. I want to see because I know some of you guys can really do a great job on flowers. I'm just gonna get the dark areas, the centers, and the shadow sides, and then you know, really highlights. That's all I'm worried about. Definitely get a few out here. This one here, right here, does line up with these guys. But then there's this one over here, flower here, that brings you around, takes it around, thins it off. Definitely get these guys right up here at the edge here. Make sure that they, now we're talking design, making sure that these guys turn it over. So that's what I'm doing right here, just making sure that this shape runs like this. Yeah, there's going to be a couple that are out of it. You want out of it, so it's not so in your face what you're doing. But that's exactly what you want to do. Push these. Where I'm putting white in, that's where I'm going to be putting red in. So, and go there. Okay, big one right here. This area here will lead you in. This is going to be soft and mushy. We only have to get a couple flowers in here. And your main flowers. Just to lead you in. And pop you. Okay. Not only this in this guy here, I am just going to basically take a square, make him a square, a rectangle, right? Create a leg from the front and in the back. Back one, it goes almost straight down from his back, the back edge. Front one just comes out a little bit. His head, he might go just a little bit bigger than that. Head above it. Now look, this is always the thing, is getting that shoulder right, coming out, just in those corners of the square, just bringing them down. Same with the guy behind him and stuff back there. This guy's the more important one. You know, and if you just give that front edge just a touch of a lean, bends at the butt a little bit, that's all you need to do. Then this tree here, definitely we're going to come up and, you know, cut this tree in there at the end. Let me put a couple red ones in for you. I'm just going to do a couple red groups here. Basic colors, really starting off my medium colors. I don't have to go to my dark. I really don't think that's really going to do anything. But this is the red. I'm going to keep the cooler one, the alizarin one, in lower on the flower, and then the warmer one either towards us or to towards the sun, warmth of it. And a lot, I'm not going to worry about value and stuff. A lot of this stuff is just going to be I got a lot of wet paint in here, and that's going to be feeding in a lot of stuff. So let me just do a few of these, get a couple in. There's your flowers. No, almost there. All right. That's the thing, is it's got the color and it's almost just as easy to do this and give you a better feel for it. It's nice to have pulled that color out of there. So it's really kind of nice to have a little soft area here. All right, I'm just going to go in the lighter version of that. And just nibble at the outsides down. They're looking at where the light source is. When you get in here, a little bit in the shadow side, just a gentle touch, more of a gentle touch will do it. Even these guys, this is it for these, most of these guys, they don't even get anything. This is a problem over here. Usually the top edge. This color goes more towards the top edge. That's sort of what I tried to leave. And little ones up here and stuff like that, you know. Light's coming in from this, the right here. So switching around where the light comes from. You know, making sure each one, you know, light's really hitting right. A lot of groupings of flowers too. So good for springtime, right? Good for springtime. All right, gonna leave a bunch of rest right there, and then the highlight. You know, definitely just reinforcing where that light is coming from. And really looking at the, some of these guys don't get midtones, they just get highlights, darks and highlights. That's about it on that. I mean, yeah, they're going to be, got to go a little bit farther. Still got a few darks in here to really get in. The guy, I go back to a square brush, and this will be it. This is it. Then we'll see you guys work. Synthetic would be perfect for this. Good synthetic would be perfect for this. Let me see if I have a better one over here. Yeah, okay. Really getting him in. Definitely going to just put him in with the same red I used here for these things to get some depth. Okay. So I'm going to put him in the whole way with that color. Use the width of my brush to be his back. I'm going to change it to go to a little bit more blue. Not much. And this is where if you dip your brush just a touch and go over this paint, you get it really nice. I'm just going to go in here and just put a little bit of touch in, and then put in his leg where that ends. A little bit too thin, and then just a little bit of front. That front leg just comes out a little bit angle. a touch more and straighter on his shoulders. Little arm comes out at it's like 7 o'clock out of this corner here. Pretty much the other one just goes straight down. It doesn't really do much. We don't even see it. Just comes out of that edge. Gonna round the shoulders off a little bit. And probably straighten them out a little bit to the back. Then his head. Right above it. Flat head. The other guy's just a touch of yellow, which we have plenty of back there. And people, we will get that stuff. We don't need, we have all the colors to use for that. This guy back in here and anything else back in here. They're all just touches. Light. I'd probably go back in here. This guy just put a little more red right in the back of this shadow back. Like that. That arch back there, I said was an arch. A little more burnt sienna type of color in that I'm going to put. And that's it. That's about it. I mean, that should do it. Just going to lighten up. That's really pink. Look at that roof there, going in there, and really hitting this light here. Now I got a synthetic. I can just cut these the light back in. But that's how that stuff goes in. How that goes in. I'll bring you in for close up. Yeah. I'll finish this off too, and send it to you guys too. But this is how it's going in. You can start to see how, really clean those spots are going in. The back end, the guy's just a couple squares, a bigger square for his back, a little smaller square for his bum, and then his the legs come out of it. That's really as simple as you got to make it. I didn't put in the tree, but that's okay. I didn't put in the light either. But that's that. And the side there, yeah, I got a little warmth I need to put in there into some bricks going around here. That's going to tie both sides together. And that's, I have it right there. I have the color right there for it. And that's the thing, it's everything kind of just builds off itself. You don't have to do major construction on everything. Okay, Anne Marie, did you paint? Allison,
I did.
Cindy and Sarah. Okay, we're going Anne Marie first.
Now I need to preface this.
Uh-oh, no way. No
While I was working on the painting, I had a visit. My dog walker came and she brought a neighbor's dog to say hello. The giant Airedale Terrier Lunatic. And so he jumped up on my palette and I mean paint everywhere.
In the house?
So I didn't get very far because I had, like he was running around with cadmium yellow on his paws.
That's always a nice touch in the house.
I did a block. I did a block in.
Hey,
so
that's a nice block in though. I love the warmth. That's where this whole thing is. That wall, that warmth in that wall, again playing against the coolness of the building next to it. being tied together with the green is really where it's really nice. I think the chair is just a really nice little accent to the whole thing. It's really nice little thing it can make it. But color wise, you hit the values really nice. I think
I like the colors. I like the
cadmium yellow
colors.
is
Yeah.
really beautiful in there. I think the colors are really gorgeous in there, and I think you're going to be pretty happy with that when you keep going.
Yeah, I had to take time out to
Yeah, no, but the
to clean
design,
up.
yep, the design is coming along really well. Yeah, the dogs are a problem. My guys kind of don't come in here because it's almost walled off a little bit.
Well,
I hope.
I think my neighbor's dog needs to go to reform school.
Well,
'Cause
I would say
he's
so.
only but
Hopefully,
anyway,
did they stop? Did they help you clean it up?
oh, the Christy, the dog walker, she's still here. Yeah, she absolutely felt terrible. It was not her fault. It's the dog's fault.
No.
But I have a question. How
Yeah.
do you think the perspective is on this? Is it coming along okay?
Oh, yours? Let me see.
Yeah.
Sorry. Coming back around. I was just looking at color. I think you're coming along pretty good. I think the top wall, you are really right there. No, you're fine. I think you're really good.
Okay.
In fact, it's really you make a point and everything just kind of goes to that point. Everything, horizontal kind of goes back to that point. And then you got,
Okay.
yeah, and then your verticals just go up. No, that looks really good. In
All
fact.
right. I'm gonna finish up and I'll post it.
Another thing, baby wipes to clean up. Baby wipes, if you have a thing of baby wipes to clean up, will help clean all the paint off. Even on your rugs. Even on
The
rugs.
good news is I don't have rugs down, so that's good.
Okay, well. Anyway, there we go. Here's Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Just painting my face.
You're painting your face with you just got some
Cindy.
rouge on it. That's permanent rouge.
I have a long way to go.
You do have a long ways to go. What the heck were you thinking taking on this one?
I know.
It's coming along. Cindy, coming along beautifully though. I love your chair so far. I think when you cleaned it out really nice. It's sitting there. I think you'll be fine with that. I love that. Just that little bit of light on the leaves in the corner just, points you into it very nicely. You're, the design, you stayed with the design because those, really got that circle going and it's starting to come, everything's turning around very nicely.
Would you check the perspective that I had a hard time with this perspective too. I think it all goes down to the same point, but I think it does.
It's close enough. It's really pretty close. And a lot of this stuff, especially when you get to these old buildings, they do full, go wonky on you really quickly. Not everything starts at the same spot. I mean, when the perspective like a modern city where everything runs in a straight line and things like that, it's really easy to do perspective. But when you got buildings that are built at slightly different angles from the next one and stuff like that, it's always a little funky. That perspective gets a little weird. This is pretty cool though. I think you've gotten it, and a lot. It's really just hitting a couple big points, at the bottom, and you did that, and maybe that roof little area on the other side of the building, on that one building,
Over here.
Yeah, those tell the story. They're good enough. They're really great. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine, girl. And I know you're gonna put it in these flowers, and you're gonna kick my butt with the flowers and stuff. I know you are. You're laughing about it. And let me see the sky. Let me see how bright that sky is up there. Yeah, you probably could go just a little more blue in the very top of that sky.
Okay.
A little more rich, more blue in that. And that's about it. That will really do a lot of the separation. But I love the way it's coming together really quickly. How
Thank
about
you.
the people? You gonna worry about the people? The people are just
I'll
squares.
put
Like
a guy in. I think I'm only gonna put one guy in, but
okay.
I kind of messed up with it to be able to see where that building is in the back, so I have to straighten that out a little
No
bit.
worries. That's just it's a little hidden thing back there. The back there, you just want to give indications of things and put in some special little colors to draw people back there. Put a little reds back there, touch of yellows. You already have green back there, and you got blues back there. Those little things are just kind of, you're pointing everything back there and stuff. People will get there. Now,
Okay.
just making sure you got good dapple light working there. The road there, you got some nice strokes going in there. Try to get a couple to go against the grain. You got a few going there really well. I think also work your chairs looks a little built into the wall. I think you're gonna have to take and
Push it
just
forward.
take the back end off it a little bit and bring it forward a little bit.
Okay.
At least make sure the foot is not at the same line as the bottom of the wall. So make sure it steps away from that wall, and that's all we really do. Yeah, just got to bring it back down and make sure it doesn't end at the same spot. That's a tangent. Don't want those.
Okay.
Also, the seat on that
It's
thing
too
could
long.
be,
Right.
yeah, it's too long. It could be tipped up just a hair higher. Like
Okay.
right now, it's. I mean, on the front end, it needs to go up a little bit, flatten out a little bit. Right now, it's leaning down a little bit.
It's really leaning. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you straighten that up. You just basically, it's the back end. Or the front end to the back end, just comes up a little bit higher. That's it. That's beautiful, though. I think you got some really great work going on that one. Congrats.
Thank you.
No worries. Congrats. All right. Who we have left? We have Miss Sarah Taylor. Let's see if she painted. Sarah, did you paint?
I did, but I'm the newbie in the group, so it's not as good as the other two. But
Oh, no excuses. Play like a champion. Okay.
So,
Where are you, Sarah?
I'm in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So you're a little hour ahead of us. Did you have problems with the time change?
A little bit, but it was okay.
Yeah, our English girl always has. Can I bring that closer to
I know
us?
it's a common problem. It's arithmetic. It's only
Okay.
arithmetic.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, so far at this point, it's really quite good. I would say really concentrate on the arc of that green tree at the back, making sure it comes back around. You got the light in the middle turning, just a little bit pieces of it. And that could just be branches and at the end. I think you stayed up with us very close. I'm looking at this. You got a block in. A block in an hour of painting, that's how fast. That's really, really fast. So, that's how, just being efficient is really great. Yeah, I think a lot of this thing is when you put in the reds, start to pop in, everything's just going to settle back there and stuff. And please, take a picture of it, put it up on our, are you a member on this, the student site yet?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, take a picture, put it up there, and you'll get a lot of nice feedback, and I'll make sure I get it, a full critique on it, a better critique. If you ever lose your way, it's a great way to just put it up there too, and somebody will help you.
Thank you.
Yeah, put the chair in. That's gonna be really gorgeous. Yeah, work the street a little bit more. Get a little. Let the brush leave some marks too. It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't want too perfect. That's a rough area. It's asphalt and stuff. So, don't have fun with it. That's the thing, is have fun. Different angles of strokes blending together. That's all it is. And the same with the wall. Just blend, just different angles, and then hit a couple bricks, and all of a sudden that's it. Really great job.
Thank you.
Nice going, Sarah. And that's the first one out of you, and that's really good. So, you gotta keep going. Now you're in trouble. Now you got to make. Yeah, now you got to. Now it has to be beautiful. Now, now on. We expect great things from you. Anyway, that was it. We had a nice bat story. That's always good to have those in here.
Good luck with that, Allison.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll keep you updated, but I think it would just, I don't know, it's tedious. I'll do a book.
We gotta. We now have a nice, beautiful bat house.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Handmade.
that
by a
Clarkson
carpenter.
Farm guy, that Jeremy guy in Clarkson Farm,
Oh yeah.
our Jill, who took this photo, knows him. She grew up
Oh,
with
cool.
his sister. She grew up, they were best pals. And she said he was a wild man. He was crazy.
Yeah. He's very tall. He's a lot. He looks tall, but then in real life he looks like a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you you didn't go to his farm, have you? You haven't gone by
No,
his
I
farm?
haven't been there, but it's not far from us, and so like there's some like events where you'll see him. Like we had a
Oh,
famous
yeah?
craft show with a good food thing on. It's in the Cotswolds, and we're just the south of the Cotswolds is the Chilterns, which is where we are. The Chilterns abut the Cotswolds, so we're right on the
Oh.
border with the Cotswolds. So yeah,
That's a
I
nice
think it's
area.
fun.
That's a beautiful
Yeah.
area.
You'll have to come and do a class here. You know,
Well,
in
I
about
was-
10 years, we might have somewhere for you to stay.
That's all I was waiting for, just a little invite. You know, I've
Yeah.
been working at all class, trying
Yeah.
to get an invite.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay. I know, that's no problem. You just put me next to the bats. I'll be fine.
They're cute.
Anyway, thanks again for the story, and nice to see you, Sarah. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, Sarah.
Nice to meet you, Sarah. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sarah.
Okay. Next week we'll be painting probably an animal or something. Kind of, and I'll figure out what it's going to be. I don't know. So it'll be just different from whatever we paint on Monday. And then we'll go back to landscapes or cityscapes or whatever. We're just going to bounce around and do a little different, because I get a lot of people wanting animals. So that's where we're going with this. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you,
and,
Jim.
Appreciate
You too.
Yeah,
appreciate
have a
you
great
guys
weekend
showing
too.
up.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
I
you
will
very
send
much.
this. I'll send this tape out as soon as I can,
Okay.
so you
Okay.
can. You
Thank
guys
you.
can see it. All right.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jim.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Have a good week, everyone.
You too.
Oh yeah, a week too. All right.